Supervive's 8-day playtest began yesterday, and with that we got 14 different hunters with varying abilities that we're getting to play. What you likely do not know yet is that there was a bunch of other hunters that didn't quite make it to these playtests. Now, many of these hunters may be canceled, but there's also a good chance that they will be coming back in future playtests. Some of them have even had their models blocked out, while others are a little questionable. I'm looking at you, Beebo, but we'll get to him in the end of the video. If you take a quick look at the hunter roster, you'll see some very interesting hunters with a wide variety of different abilities. Whether it's Bishop with her rockets and jumping, yeah, her name used to be Rocket Jumper, or Oath with their paladin abilities, it seems like even with the base hunters, we may have many of the most enjoyable classes and archetypes already touched upon, except for one. If you've known me for any period of time, you would know that in every single game I play, I usually default to the resident rogue, thief, or assassin type character. And we had one of those for the playtest for a little while. Sadly, it has been taken away from us way too early the last few tests. In Stalker's initial iteration, he had, and I kid you not, a permanent stealth, which, to be fair, did not fit in well to Supervive's team-based combat system. He did pop out of stealth when he went into combat, but anytime he was out of combat for more than, I believe it was 3 to 5 seconds, he would just dip back into stealth, giving him the jump on pretty much every single combat scenario. Since then, he has had his kit slightly updated, even if it was deemed not suitable for our current tier of playtests. They have changed his passive from providing constant stealth to instead being a new passive called Stalker Sense. Stalker Sense provides the player with the ability to tell when they are being watched and tracked by other enemy hunters, while also increasing their movement speed. And the passive does have a second part as well that increases the player's movement speed as they land attacks while in combat. As I'm sure you can guess, both of these abilities can massively increase the Stalker's movement speed in and out of combat. Something that realistically also doesn't lend itself to very good team-based gameplay, similar to the single stealth. And beyond Stalker's movement speed passives, he also has what, in my opinion, was a really fun melee-based kit. His left mouse button, when charged, casted a high damage stab, which also shreds your opponent's armor. When not charged, it would cast an AoE attack that would deal increased damage at max range. So the further away they were from the Stalker, the more damage they would take. Stalker's right mouse button throws a dagger that, when it connected with an enemy, would mark them and then also teleport you to them, while also increasing your damage against them, increasing with the distance that the dagger traveled. If the marked target would die within 5 seconds, it would also reset the cooldown of the dagger, allowing you to pretty easily snowball a full team wipe. And if you think all of that sounds overpowered, this next ability was really the ability that pushed him way over the edge. Here's where Stalker was kind of broken in my opinion, and that was his Air Slam E ability. On first press, you would fly up into the air, and then recasted, you would smash into the ground and basically just AoE insta-kill most things, especially when combined with the right mouse blink dagger that increased your damage based off of ranged. You could blink into full groups and just one-shot them. On my first time playing this character and having little to no idea actually how to play him, you could see here that I got a near full team wipe just by pressing a couple buttons.
God damn.
Maybe he was a little bit broken based off the fact that I'm actually kind of just hot trash at this game. All of that said, though, I think from a class fantasy place, we are very likely to just see the return of Stalker, well, probably changed up a little bit. We all know we need an agile melee and quick movement skilled character, and while we do have Brawl, it would be nice to see some level of stealth and more an evasion, kind of sneaking around type character as well. Next on our list, we have our favorite Parks and Recreation cast member, Ron Swanson. If he picked up a giant minigun and started taking steroids and killing everyone with a overheating backpack. Gunner, the aptly named mid-range minigun wielding hunter, hasn't been as worked on as Stalker, but definitely, at least in my opinion, plays a role on the Supervive cast. Obviously, if you take a look at the model, he seems to be mostly just blocked out, and I think the same can potentially be said for this hunter's kit as well. Gunner's passive ability restores 25% of the player's maximum health and armor, while also increasing damage he takes from behind because, well, He's got that giant molten overheating minigun backpack on. The heal is pretty similar to Shiv and Brawl's passives, and I think it's Shiv's E that will heal them based off of kills or other different things within the game. So it didn't really feel that original of a passive ability. Gunner's left mouse button is a minigun, which probably plays exactly how you would expect it. Hold down left mouse button and it will charge up, firing an increasingly hot minigun until you overheat, making it so you can no longer fire. Gunner's right mouse button throws barbed wire, knocking back and slowing and damaging enemies found in its area. Also, another ability that didn't really feel too original if you look at some of the other members on the cast. Gunner can also hover around with his shift ability and overcharge his minigun to increase its damage and rate of fire. While I cannot say specifically why Gunner went back to the drawing board, I can say that his kit definitely felt a little too similar to some of the other hunters. That said, I do see him making a return in future playtests if they can further differentiate his kit from the other ones, likely by adjusting his passive and the barbed wire ability. In the frosty expanse of Antarctica, deep within a covert ice prison, Beebo, the notorious war criminal penguin, sits brooding. Beebo had previously evaded capture, but his reputation spread amongst both friend and foe alike in the Skylands. Armed with a sleek pistol strapped to his feathery side, Beebo was probably more of an experiment than a fully fledged hunter, though his short-lived time in the Skylands definitely left its mark. Beebo has become a bit of a mascot in the Supervive community, though I think he will likely remain a fable or a myth for future players. Not much is known about his kit anymore these days, and he was very shortly lived in a quick playtest, but I could see some of the ideas that we learned from Beebo being pushed into other hunters in the future. As the icy winds howl outside his fortress, Beebo plots his next move, knowing that every step brings him closer to a return to the Skylands, creating a future of espionage and betrayal. And while Beebo may still be in jail for his horrendous war crimes, there's, I'm sure, plenty of other hunters that are in even deeper, darker dungeons held there by Theorycraft Games for the crimes they've committed within their internal playtests. So, will we get to see those? I don't know. Your guess is good as mine. Let me know in the comments below which one of these hunters do you want to see show up in the next playtest. Personally, I love Stalker. As I said, you guys know I'm a rogue character, so hopefully we get those back. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.